What's up, guys? Here we are doing another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Black Ops 4 Blackout Beta and just kind of our thoughts, what we our experience with it. I mean, personally, I thought it was really fun. It was a really cool game, just right off the bat. A little bit different for both of us, you know, the Battle Royale style. We've played Fortnite and PUBG before. Yeah. Briefly. It wasn't really what we were into. You know, it's a little bit just different from our style. We're mostly
didn't get into it too much.
Yeah, we're mostly that first person, you know, shooter, Call of Duty, you know, Halo, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this, you know, was a little bit of a mix between your the Battle Royale modes we have seen, you know, with PUBG and Fortnite, and kind of mix it with Call of Duty, you know, first person shooter. And I personally think it was fantastic. I think it was a really good job because beforehand I always kind of thought it was a little weird. I was like, you know, it's cool and it's a really good, fun concept, and you know, it's really popular, but it's just not my style of play. But this Blackout mode has really, I mean, with just the beta, with playing that, was actually really cool, really fun for, you know, me, and I thought it was
it was
like the
really
perfect
great
way to transition into it, you know?
Yeah. Overall, I feel like the beta was pretty much flawless. I mean, it wasn't flawless, but it you know, it had some problems and some things that we're going to talk about here in this video. But I mean, overall, the beta was absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, it basically took like everything that was great about PUBG and just like stepped it up. So I personally, like, I've talked about this in other videos about Blackout, but I don't think that Blackout will be able to beat Fortnite at all. And I kind of gave two reasons for that. And one is because Fortnite is on a billion platforms. It's on Xbox, PS4, PC, Switch, iOS, Android. 7 platforms, okay? Well, then Blackout, Xbox, PC, PS4. 3. 7 versus 4. So, 3. You know, like, 7 versus 3. And so, you know, even if you take, like, the install base, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, 100 million PlayStation 4 sold. And even if all of the PS4 players, all, like, 100 million of them, and even, like, you know, all the Xbox players and all the PC gamers and everybody, you know, even if everybody played Blackout, it still wouldn't compare to the install base that Fortnite has because of those extra platforms. Yeah, Switch hasn't sold.
Plus, it's free.
Yeah, Switch hasn't sold, you know, anywhere compared to like the PS4, the Xbox One, or, you know, even on like, you know, PC or anything like that. But still, that's a couple million people you can bring in on Switch. And then for Android and iOS, that's literally like
every
the 2
single
phones.
Person. You know?
Yeah, and like everybody out there, you know, billions of people. That's a market for billions of people having it on iOS and Android. And it's free, too. So, you know, you immediately break down that wall of, you know, you now have a massive audience of billions of potential people to play for it. And then you also break down another wall by having it be free. So, literally, like, the only thing stopping anybody from playing Fortnite is just maybe they haven't heard about it or they don't want to play about it, you know? It's not that, oh, I don't have the platform to play Fortnite. Whatever you have, there's a platform.
If you have a computer, if you have a phone, I mean,
you can play Fortnite.
You can play Fortnite. If you have an iPod, you can play Fortnite.
Yeah.
And really, it's like, I don't know anybody who doesn't know about Fortnite. I know people who have never played it, who just don't know much about it, but they've heard of Fortnite. Yeah. And they know it's a big thing. Or they know maybe not what Fortnite is, like the name, but they know of this game that a whole ton of people are playing. Like, I've heard somebody talking about this thing, and then apparently everybody's playing it, but I've never heard of it before. So really, I think the only people who aren't playing Fortnite really are those people who have tried it and really don't like it, or people who just, you know, don't really know what it is or don't really care.
Or don't like the concept in general or something.
And that's kind of how, you know, I was.
Yeah.
And from playing Fortnite and playing Blackout and stuff, I have no problem really with Fortnite, other than I think the building is a little weird, because a lot of Fortnite is get the material, build a little house or build something, you know, try and block the enemy by, you know, building something. Yeah. And I think that's a little bit in my opinion, it was a little bit much. I'm like, if it's a shooter game, you're trying to get another person and hide behind stuff, but you should. I don't really like the fact that
like it's
I'm getting shot. Let me put a wall up.
Yeah, who can build the most, who has the most materials, who can build the highest or whatever, and sure there is like some gunplay involved, because you build something and then you try and like take a shot at a guy or snipe him or something, but it's not the same way as like PUBG and Blackout is, where it's legit. You see each other and you're behind cover. And another person's like behind cover, and you're trying to snipe them or shoot them. It's all about
to go for it, and it's
It's all about like your gunplay and skill. Compared to I can just build a wall in front of me, and then they destroy the wall, build another wall.
And I'm not saying it doesn't take any skill to do that in Fortnite, but I find it a little bit less straightforward and more. Oh, here, let me build walls and get away.
It seems way more lucky and just random. That you're just building something there. Instead of actually, like you're shooting someone, and so their aim gets thrown off. So you want to like hit every shot, and even if your aim gets thrown off, make sure you're getting your aim back on and stuff. And overall, just the mechanic of building isn't something I'm very fond of. I get it, and I understand. It's kind of what separates Fortnite from all the other battle royale modes and stuff. But I mean, it works for Fortnite. Obviously, that wouldn't work for Blackout, and yeah, like, I don't think Blackout will beat Fortnite because, one, the install base, and then two, because it's not free. Because you have to buy Black Ops 4 for like $60. Yeah. Even compared to PUBG is like 15 or 20 bucks or something like that.
It's 15 bucks.
It's like, like a fourth of the price of Black Ops 4.
And Black Ops 4, the only way I can even see it stealing much from the Fortnite community at all is those Fortnite players who play Fortnite, but they also play Call of Duty because they really like Call of Duty. Call of Duty's been, big way before Fortnite was, but Fortnite has taken over this huge rage, so there's a lot of people who play that and play Call of Duty. And the only way I think that it's going to take it away are those people who are like, I'm going to buy it anyways, so might as well just play Blackout. I mean, I still don't think that's going to be a huge number of people, because, I mean, Call of Duty has a huge fan base, but compared to Fortnite, it's really not as big because of that platform like barrier that they can't get past, and the price barrier, because there's a lot of people and a lot of kids, and I know like my little brother, he doesn't want to, or he wants to play Fortnite because he can get it, it's free. I'm like, you're 5 or you're 7 or something, and I'm like, yeah, why don't you wait a couple of years and you can just play my video games or something? I don't care if he plays Fortnite. I mean, I know a ton of people who play Fortnite, but it's like, it's such an easy and accessible thing, and it's really cartoony, so it doesn't seem like it's like this, really horrific game or something. Like
it appeals more to a general audience.
Yeah, and like a kid basis and stuff.
Because Call of Duty at the end of the day is Call of Duty. It's a shooter game where you go around killing people. But like Fortnite is this cartoony game that you're going around and you're building things and whatnot. It's more similar to Minecraft than it is to more like the shooter genre.
You kill people, but it's like, you shoot somebody, and they go, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this war game where you're shooting somebody and you're like bleeding out or whatever. It's not a bad game, honestly. I mean, especially from seeing from the community around it and stuff. There's thousands upon thousands, millions of people who play.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really hard for a game that's $60 to compete with that, but at the same time, Call of Duty has this huge fan base as well. And I mean, I guess we're kind of getting off of Blackout and more into this comparison, but
I think that if Blackout kind of wants to compete, it's going to have to either go free to play or as its own separate like $15 purchase. That's the only real way it's going to be able to compete really well against Fortnite. I mean, I have no doubt that it's going to absolutely smash PUBG, because Blackout is essentially PUBG, but like better in every single way. If you play PUBG on the Xbox One X, like I've never played it on the original Xbox. I've never played it on there. I've seen what it looks like on there, but even on the Xbox One X, all the textures are really soupy and just really, and everything kind of looks like Play-Doh.
I mean,
it doesn't run extremely well.
It's a cool game. It really is. Like, if I had to choose between PUBG and Fortnite, I would honestly choose PUBG, because that's the kind of thing that I like to see. I like the actual real war type thing of it. I don't like the cartoony aspect of Fortnite as much,
Yeah.
and I don't really like the building
It
as
has
much
its
either.
appeal,
It's a thing that I like it. You know, this is a gun game. You're gonna shoot. You're gonna try and kill the other people by strategizing with the gun choice you can get. I mean, you gotta find a good area where you drop and what you. I mean, like with your skill base on aim and shot and all that
like map
stuff
placement
instead
and
of
stuff, too.
building. I don't really like the building thing because it's like, honestly, I could just find the center of the thing, build something awesome, and then come get me, guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cool and all, but I'd rather just play PUBG. But then again, I'm a Call of Duty player. They're putting Blackout into this, and I'm like, I really like first person. I like it better than third person just because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I played PUBG and Fortnite more, I'd get more used to that third person.
I would like to see a third person mode in Blackout. I think it would be really nice and kind of appeal to a lot of different people who have played PUBG and Fortnite and stuff. But I mean, having it be a first person battle royale mode, it works tremendously well.
And it's a completely new thing. It's like combining your Fortnite and PUBG with Call of Duty, like that's exactly what it is.
And it works perfectly too. And it's like, with Black Ops 2, which is, one of the most popular sub-franchises of Call of Duty. And, it takes a lot of these really cool, iconic, places from Black Ops into a map that all just kind of comes together. And it blends
nostalgia
really well. Like the whole map, it's not like, one moment you're here in a zombies map and the next you're like, oh, wow, I'm here in this multiplayer map. That's kind of weird.
Like, it flows really well. They've, the
way they've set it up, too, like with Nuketown Island, and you have, like, bridges that go over into the rest of it, and, like, there's... and it works. Like, it's not, like you have, boom, Verrucht, and then, boom, you have Diner right next to each other.
And
it makes sense.
It's not super easy to actually even tell with a lot of them. Like, Diner's probably the most, oh wow, I can see this map exactly. You go into Nuketown, you can't actually find the actual Nuketown part that you play on multiplayer unless you go into the specific area, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is Nuketown right here. This is that map. Because there's still that area, but it doesn't play like that.
There's so much more open area. It's literally just the buildings, the bus, the truck, and the other building.
And there's more buildings around it.
The rest of it's just so much more open and stuff.
And the coolest thing I think about Nuketown is there's bunkers that you legit go underneath, and it goes throughout the entirety of Nuketown Island. And there's a bunch of stuff under there. I mean, it's not the best stuff.
Kind of ties in with Nuketown Zombies. There's like Easter eggs and theories or whatever for years about how you get into the bunker in Nuketown. And that was like Nuketown Zombies Easter egg is getting into the bunker and stuff. And so it's kind of nice for Treyarch to kind of give it a little nod and basically be like, yeah, now you can go into the bunker. But like the way it all plays together, it's really nostalgic. But it plays well too. So it's not like they're just throwing these things in just for nostalgic sake. They're not just like, here, have this, because remember when had fun with this years ago? It's like, yeah, you can play with these old things and these old maps and these old weapons and stuff, but they blend so well with the new. And it all works out really well. I've talked about this in the past on my channel. I would like to see the Blackout map extended a little bit, maybe not like physically like the size of it, but just a little bit more dense. So if they put hijacked over in the water, if they put like carrier,
kind of by like the
lighthouse, or
no, not by lighthouse. I say on the
by
on
construction
the top, by
site,
construction site, because it's got like a lagoon there, and there would be a perfect
there's a
area.
lot of water up there, but there's nothing out there, Or if they had Cove, if they should totally do Cove and hijacked, because there's that Easter egg in Black Ops 2. Then on hijacked, you can look out in the distance and you can see this island, and then on Cove, you can look out in the distance and you can see the boat from hijacked. So the maps are literally in like the same exact area, and you can see each other from each thing. It'd be a really cool little kind of Easter egg for them to actually have, a little island out in the middle of the water, kind of like Nuketown Island, but for Cove, and then have hijacked out there too. That'd be really interesting. I've talked about before how I would love to see Buried out by Turbine. That'd be really cool. Like, all of a sudden there's just a big hole in the ground, and then you can like drop down into it, and there's like, the saloon and everything from Buried in there. That'd be really
neat. Just like the tunnels that lead out, and maybe little areas that are harder to find or something like that.
It'd be really interesting. Obviously,
because there's a lot of area in that map that is like
just
there's
barren.
nothing there. And I mean, it's actually pretty. I like it because most of the time the circle ends up in an area with just a bunch of rocks or just a bunch of trees instead of like at a building. Because once you're at a building, there's more area to move around or just to hide and to move around. And I think it's better with the open, but with still stuff to hide behind. But it's open, so you kind of know where each other are at, and you just gotta firefight and go for it.
The map size itself, I feel like, is really good. Like that's one thing that when the map size was revealed, people were like, I don't know about that. And they're like, well, that sucks, you know, because it was revealed that you can go from one side of Blackout to the other in 5 minutes. But if you really think about it, 5 minutes is a long time if you're constantly, you know, running and like you're sprinting.
Like a constant sprint. There's a limited sprint, and if you're sprinting from one side to the other
for 5 whole minutes, and like
by the time you get to the other side, the storm is gonna get you.
Like for me, kind of what put the whole map into perspective was the hydro dams. So there's like 2 big buildings at the bottom of the dam that you can go into, and they have like multiple levels and stuff. And that kind of really put into perspective for me of how big this map is. Because each of those buildings are huge, and that could be like, even one of those buildings could be, it's in and of itself, its own multiplayer map. But it's like, you know, multiplayer map like stacked on top of each other, like 3 of them. And then there's another one on the other side. And it's just so big and so, like, there's so much more area and stuff to do with it. And I really think that them, you know, updating the beta to get to 100 players is really awesome, and I feel like for launch they're gonna, you know, absolutely have 100 players. And even if they can get more than that, I feel like that'd be incredible to play with, you know, like 120 people in Blackout. Because I mean, when you drop, you see, you know, people on occasion, but you don't really see a lot of people unless you go to freaking everybody drops at firing range and Nuketown Island and wherever the first thing is. Literally, as soon as the helicopter opens, there goes 30 people. And like,
I mean, a lot because when you go into it, it has the animations of the helicopters passing, and then it comes to the carrier helicopters, and then they open up, and then you can drop. But they haven't showed the counter yet off on the right hand side of how many people are there. And once it pops up, already out of, out of 80 people, there would be like 60 or 50 people on there left, and you're like, holy crap! Literally 20, 30 people just dropped out as soon as it opened up.
And I think it's really fun to find like a group like that. Like when you have like a bunch of people all going at each other like that, you know, it's like a big free-for-all game, you know, where you have, you know, like when you're playing duos, you know, you got a squad over here, they're trying to snipe you, but then you got a squad over here that you're trying to, you know, like take out, and then you got some, you know, guys back here trying to take you, and then you got a guy on, you know, a truck coming at you. So much fun to have like all this kind of like chaos going around, but it's not just like there's all this stuff going around and you're like, what the heck is going on? It's like it works really well having all these people, and you know, with all the weapon balance, I think it's like pretty spot on. The snipers are good.
I love
There's one sniper that's just
the attachments
way
that
good.
you can do, because that's something that's different that isn't on Fortnite. I don't know, is it on PUBG?
PUBG has attachments and stuff. Yeah.
So it's something that works really well because you can put, you know, the different attachments on it, and if you don't have attachments on a weapon, it's still a good gun and it still works about the same. But it puts you just a little bit over. A sight and a scope are like must-haves for snipers and for most guns. But you can put all these other attachments on there, and it just makes it really cool. And it's like, so you're actually actively like, I can't tell you how many times we played and then picked up a sniper and like, it doesn't have a scope on it. Of course.
And then you're like, I gotta find a
running
sniper
around
scope.
trying to find a scope the whole time.
3x or a 4x, you know, sight on it or something.
Instead of having a sniper scope or something. But it was like super fun because then, you know, you get like a 2,000 foot or like a 200 and 400 foot like headshot with just like the iron sights. You're like, what? Yes! And it's really cool. But it's like the attachments are just like a really cool part of it that I really enjoyed doing, and they didn't have that in Fortnite, which was one thing. And I couldn't even tell what gun I had on Fortnite half the time. Like, I mean, if you watch the Fortnite video that we just posted of me playing Fortnite for the first time, I picked up a gun and I'm like, I have no idea what this gun is. And I kept switching. I'm like, can it tell me? Is there a way for me to find out what the gun is that I have? I didn't know if it was a shotgun. Didn't know if it was just like some, you know, one-shot rifle or something like that. And
I think, honestly, one of the coolest things for me about Blackout is integration of zombies into it.
That is
Like,
way cool.
yeah, because everybody loves Call of Duty Zombies. You know, like you probably like it's hard to find somebody who hasn't at least heard of it. You know, like so many people have at least played World at War Zombies. Have played Black Ops 1 Zombies, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 Zombies. You know, and for them to include that in Blackout is so much fun, and it like they did it in a really tasteful way too. So they could have done it. You know, it's just like boom, okay, there's zombies in the game. You know, ooh, but no, it's like specific areas of the map. So it's like literally the zombies areas of the map. So like Lighthouse, the boxing gym, you got
Diner,
Asylum and Diner, yeah. And there's also the mystery box too, which is really cool. And I mean, really like that.
It's not like a random shuffle through a gun or anything. It's like there's a bunch of stuff in there,
it's like
and it's
level
random.
3 armor, yeah.
But there's stuff in there, and it's really cool because like they changed it towards the end, so it's like the mystery box coming was like random, like the timing was random. So if the light's on, you can get the mystery box because zombies are spawning.
Yeah.
They changed it so you actually have to kill all of the zombies while the light is on, and then the mystery box spawns, and you can get what's inside there. And normally, what's inside the mystery box is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
It's like the where you can always find something that's really good is in the supply drops that come down.
Really
so
like
the mystery box is like a kind of a good thing, but what you really were looking for were those supply drops. But it was hard because everybody knew that.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times we were there. We would be like, oh, there's a supply drop over here. Let's go look at it. We'd go over and we'd start getting shot at because somebody was like, we know they're going to want, somebody's going to want this. We're just going to watch it. And then we just watch the supply drop. And it was a pain in the butt because you're always like, I want to get that war machine out of that.
And that's one of my gripes about it is I feel like the war machine is a little too strong. I mean, I guess that's kind of underselling it quite a bit. Like, it's really fun to use. And honestly, if you got a war machine, you're like, bam, bam, bam. Like, we posted a video about that where you got the war machine and you ended up winning the game. And, you know, and I mean, it's really fun to use.
Honestly, the war machine, when we won that game, when I had the war machine, it wasn't super integrated. It's not the reason I won. I mean, I could have still did it. The guy was just laying there, and then I just shot it at him. But it was something that made me confident that I could get him, even if he started shooting at me first.
Yeah, because it just absolutely just burns through armor, and then all through their health. So even if they have a trauma kit and like level 3 armor, like 2 maybe 3 shots with war machine is gonna kill them. And
not even 2. Like, you can hit them once, and as long as you hit them pretty dead on, they're dead. Yeah. I mean, if you hit them from hit next to them and it doesn't kill them, maybe 2 shots. But basically, you see somebody, especially in that last little bit, and you just go ding, 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 and they're gone. There's no way to survive that. It works
because it's like a power weapon that you have to get out of like one of these supply drop crates, and so it's like there's that risk, like you said. You go out to that crate and you risk getting shot because everybody knows where it lands. But it pays off because you get this really powerful weapon.
And there's always like level 3 armor and trauma kit, paladin, or some sniper, some good gold gun or something. Always in those things, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, like I feel like the risk is and the reward is really good in that. That like the risk you play, but you can get a war machine, which is really good.
Yeah.
But I still feel like giving a war machine is still a little too strong. I mean, like. Snipers are really, really good because you got to be really precise. Like if you want to kill somebody, you got to get them in the head, and
like straight up. Because if you hit them in the chest or anything like that, it's normally a 2-shot.
Yeah.
Normally a 2-shot, but still, it's really good. The war machine, you got like 8 shots, and every single shot can kill a couple people if they're standing next to each other.
But overall, I mean, that's like my kind of one gripe is the war machine is a little too strong. I would like to see a little bit.
Awesome, though.
Yeah, it's really fun to use. I would like to see some more playable areas, and maybe some more weapons. A little bit more variety with that kind of stuff. Like I would like to see some more original like Black Ops, not necessarily original Black Ops, but Black Ops style weapons. So Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 weapons. So like. If we had like the Brecci from Black Ops 3, that'd be really fun to use because I mean, as it stands, shotguns and that.
Are very terrible.
Unless
it's not very good. They're terrible.
Yeah, you have to get a shotgun right off the bat and basically kill somebody who doesn't have any armor and only has the fists in order to basically that's the only time a shotgun's viable. You never hold on to a shotgun for the later parts.
Some of the first time I played Blackout, I got a shotgun. I had no idea if it was good or not. I got the better of the 2 shotguns though. It's like the I don't know, it's the semi-automatic.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but
I haven't used it.
I was sitting in a corner in Nuketown in one of the buildings. A dude walks past me. I start shooting at him, hit him about 4 times. He turns around, lights me up with like a cordite.
Yeah.
And I'm dead. And he had level 2 armor. I had level 3 armor, and he just lit me up, and I was gone. And I'm like, I had a shotgun, and I shot you like 5-6 times.
And it's like close quarters combat too.
And
like shotguns are a little underpowered, but I mean, if they had like a lot of these really cool older weapons, that'd be really fun to use. Because I mean, like you can get the Galil from Black Ops 1 in this, and it's really fun to use.
It is really
Even
cool.
get the ray gun. Like, how cool is that? Running around with an actual ray gun from zombies. Like,
And that thing's good too. I mean, the only
Yeah.
problem is you can't get ammo for it. Like, for the War Machine and the ray gun, that's the one good thing about it though, is once you run out of ammo, it's gone unless you get it from another supply drop or the ray gun from another zombie. And so I think that's pretty good though, because once you run out of ammo, it's gone. You don't want to use it anymore. Even when you're low on ammo, you're like, it's not really worth it. I'm gonna pick something else up.
I would like to see a little bit more zombies weapons though. That'd be kind of cool. Like, you know, imagine if they included the scavenger from Call of the Dead, but not as maybe an explosive weapon. You know, so it's like an actual sniper. That'd be really cool to use. You know, if they had like the thunder gun, how cool would that be? Running around, you know, you're like boom, boom. You know, it might be like a 2 or 3 shot. You know, but still.
Or
like,
even
how
if it's a
fun would
1,
that
if
be?
you have like 2 shots in it or something.
Yeah.
Or 3 shots and that's all you have.
Yeah, it'd be really fun to use.
Because I mean, the
That's
thunder
so
gun you
much
still have
potential.
to be pretty close to use, but that would be way cool. I mean, the one thing that's actually kind of incredible with the zombies thing is people don't realize, but yeah, there's, you know, when they started off, there's 80 people in this match. You're like, why can you only do 80 people? I mean, Fortnite and PUBG can do 100, and you know, it's fine, but you don't think and account for all the zombies. The zombies are, you know, these computer.
Yeah, they're their
Yeah,
own little
they're just-
entities and stuff, and
And it
little
takes a
assets.
lot of actual stuff to put in there. I mean, yeah, they're bots, so it's not as hard as putting in more people, but it takes up a lot. So you're thinking there's about 80 people in a match, plus
Up to 100 now, too. At the end of the
up
beta.
to 100, plus these. You know, you have like 15 zombies in each area, and there's like what 4 or 5 zombies areas. So there could be up to
Like
almost
160.
100 or so other zombies, plus these 80, now 100 people. So it's actually kind of incredible that they can put that much in there. Plus, one of my favorite things is they have more vehicles. You can have a helicopter, a truck, an ATV, or this
The
little buggy,
water buggy
water buggy, yeah. And it's way cool because in Fortnite you can only drive
I think it's the shopping cart, right? This is the only thing you can kind of.
Well, you can ride in the shopping cart. I thought there was one other thing though. There's like golf cart. You can ride in a golf cart in Fortnite, and I don't know about PUBG. There's like some.
PUBG has vehicles, but I mean it's basically kind of like the same as Blackout. But I mean PUBG has, like, I can't tell you the amount of issues where you're just driving and then all of a sudden, bam, you end up in a building and your like truck is stuck in like a bedroom or something. You're like, what in the world? But it's because that like building or something hasn't loaded in yet, and so by the time it loads in right on top of you, and it's just like really frustrating in PUBG because it's like, well, I just lost my vehicle and now I'm like stuck in a house or something because the game didn't load this like thing. But the vehicles in Blackout are really awesome.
Especially the helicopter's really cool because you'd think that the helicopter is really overpowered to be able to fly over people like that, but it's actually kind of hard to see people from the helicopter, and the helicopter gets destroyed like that. Like, it's really not hard to destroy a helicopter. Yeah. And then it has a little bit of with the truck has a lot of health. They can shoot it about 1,000 times. It won't do it. It won't blow up.
There's only one seat up front though. And all your passengers, they got to hop in the back, and you can get sniped pretty easily still through the front of the truck.
And it's really
slow
not
and
that
loud.
fast.
Yeah, with
and
the ATV thing,
really
it's
fast,
but you're super exposed, so somebody could just pick you off and you're done. You
the
got
ATVs get blown up pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
Then the buggies have never actually been shot out in a buggy, the water buggy, but I assume it's a lot like the ATV.
Because you're really exposed in the that, but they are decently fast still, and have a decent amount of health. It'd be really fun to see more vehicles in it, But I mean,
assume they
overall,
won't, but
yeah, overall, I feel like Blackout is really amazing. I can't wait to see what Treyarch does with it before launch and even after launch. I mean, the beta was a success in my opinion. They included
it was fantastic.
new
honestly.
game modes throughout, the beta, and that was really fantastic and awesome. And I hope they keep that up with the final game. But overall, yeah, I love the beta. It was really fun, and I really love Blackout. It's kind of brought me into the whole battle royale genre.
Oh, for sure, way
And-
more. Like we weren't
Yeah.
really into it at all, and now
Like
it's
PUBG
really
didn't
cool.
bring me into it. Fortnite absolutely didn't, and this one actually, will. And so now I'm willing to play, battle royale games. And
Yeah, I
play
for
the
sure
genre
want to
now.
hop into PUBG sometime, try and go for it, see how that is. I mean, I haven't played it at all, but we'll have to for sure get into that and try and play that. Blackout's really brought out a new perspective of it and a lot more willingness for us. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I felt like basically it felt like a legit game, like not a beta, like not really any problems. The only problems we really ever had with it was at the beginning when the PlayStation first got both betas, not as much for Blackout but more for the multiplayer, is we got kicked a whole lot. That is the only thing that really felt like a beta for us. Really, the game felt like a game of runs, really smooth. I mean, it feels like they put a lot of good work into the beta, and if they're willing to put that much work into the beta, I'm just super excited to see how the actual game turns out. And, just super excited to play and for our stream, which we'll talk about in the podcast
that we're going to do tomorrow. And yeah, that is our thoughts about Blackout, the Blackout private beta. Really fun, really entertaining to play and to watch. We both really enjoyed it. There are some things we would like to see them work on and improve, but overall, I feel like it was a success.
fantastic. It was pretty great.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell us your thoughts on Blackout down in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the mode? Do you still think, like Blackout is better than Fortnite? Do you think it's better than PUBG? Do you think Fortnite, is going to die to Blackout? Tell us your thoughts why. I had a guy on my channel when I talked about this. He was like, no, Call of Duty, Blackout is going to kill Fortnite. Tell us why in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.